Hi, we're here with Jim Madigan, Northeastern men's hockey coach. Has a great sound to it and a long time coming. Talk a little bit, if you will, Jim, about getting behind the bench and being the head coach, and why you were intrigued by this opportunity at Northeastern.
Yeah, absolutely, Rob. And first, it's a thrill to be back, involved with Northeastern hockey and athletics. And I've been part of the program for many years, and the last few years maybe a little on the periphery, but very involved with spending time with Greg and the other coaches, Sebastian and Albie. And when this opportunity came about, Greg and I have chatted over the years, and he's obviously had a little bit an aspiration to pursue at the pro game, and the pro teams had always pursued him. So I knew that I think at some point that Greg might be leaving for that opportunity, and because he's a very good coach. And so I've always thought about what that timing would look like. And for me, that timing came across. This time it aligned perfectly, and I've been spending a lot of time in the game on the pro side, still being involved here at Northeastern Hockey, and just excited about the two now coming together, the alignment of the hockey program, coaching hockey program, and being involved here at Northeastern. And looking at from my identification, evaluation, player development skills, and looking to bring that into the program, and working with two good coaches in Pat Foley and Jerry Keefe. So I think as a staff, the timing really works out well in working with our student athletes and competing at a high level in a real strong league.
30 years now, you've been involved with Northeastern. That's kind of a commendable amount of time.
Yeah, it's been a great run. It's been a run that I'm, obviously excited about. And when I left Toronto in 1981 to drive down and go in front of Whitehall, you never would have thought that it would have lasted this long. But it's just been a fabulous run, and I think from my end, a love affair with the institution, and able to touch on many different parts of the institution, from obviously playing and getting a degree in the business school, and then spending 8 years in the hockey program, and then moving on into different parts of the administration. It's obviously where I met my wife. It's where our two girls are currently enrolled as students in the business school. So you want to think that you're contributing back to the institution as an employee, but I certainly have taken a lot more from the institution than I've been able to give back, and thrilled about it, and looking forward to this next opportunity. And my career has been kind of in 7-8 year segments here, so I'm looking for the next career run here of 8 to 10 years in the hockey program.
You played on some of the great teams of the past for Northeastern. You played for Fernie Flaman. I'm going to ask you a little bit about playing for him. I wrote some of these names down. I didn't want to leave anybody out, but you played with the Averils, Marshalls, Busick, Isbister, Frank, Pratt, Emerson, Heinbuck, Manchurik. Those were very good teams in the early 80s.
Yeah. It's funny how you said good players, Rob, but also good characters too, on and off the ice. But if you look at the Northeastern, era here of hockey, that was by far the golden era. We had real good hockey players, skilled players, but some players with a lot of grit, determination, resiliency. Kind of mirrored what the school was about. That hard-working approach. And in those, there's a few others there that we could add on, and Bruce Racine and whatnot, who I played with towards the end of my career. But those players, I think, helped set Northeastern to the next level, and created what the expectation level was for Northeastern hockey. And certainly, 4 Beanpot championships in that era, 2 NCAA appearances, 2 league championships. So really helped us, I think, propel the program. And I think we've seen that now coming back. And before that, there was some success through the 1990s. But the last few years, that momentum that Greg and the coaching staff have established has helped us 2 of the last 3 years to get to the Hockey East tournament semifinals and to get to a national tournament. And so we want to continue building on that momentum.
How about playing for Fernie Flaman, and how that might apply to your coaching philosophy as you're bringing forward here to 2011-12?
Yeah, no, and I think everyone knows of my relationship with Fernie and Don McKenney, who were the staples of the program for so many years here. And one of the things that Fernie and Don did, and I'll chat about Fernie, is that they treated us like men. And we came into the building, there was an expectation level, both on the ice and off the ice, and they treated us like men. So we want I think I'm gonna take that approach. And these are young men on our team who are focused. Many of them have been drafted by the NHL teams. Those who haven't been drafted by the NHL teams have an aspiration to continue playing their hockey at the National Hockey League level. So there is a seriousness already to what they do, and a focus and a purpose to what they do. So we're going to treat them, as men, keeping along, making sure that that focus and purpose to their game is still here. At the end of the day, they're still 18 to 23-year-olds, so there'll be good days and some bad days. But Fernie was really even keeled in how he treated us. I think we're going to be that same way. We'll demand an awful lot from our players in both the classroom and on the ice. But at the end of the day, they'll know that we're supporting them for their aspiration, and collectively as a unit, we want to win championships here. And Fernie and Don pointed us in that direction, made sure that we had success here at Northeastern.
Most recently, you've been working at the pro level with the Pittsburgh Penguins and Jay Heinbuch, another Northeastern guy. So you've had, sort of through your career, an opportunity to be involved at both the collegiate and the pro level, something which you could talk a little bit about the advantage in terms of your recruiting and your coaching of these collegiate athletes.
Yeah, I've been really fortunate that way, Rob. When you look at 8 years in the college and then the last 13 years of the pro game, and as indicated earlier, all our players want to get to the next level, and what does it take to play at the next level? And I've been fortunate to be around many great hockey people. Ray Sherrill was a general manager of the Penguins. Before that, Mike Milbury is general manager with the New York Islanders. But then also in that group were about 7 other general managers that I worked with, who are current managers that I work with, who spent time at that level, and strong hockey people like Jay Heinbuch. And one of the things you take is you're surrounding yourself with those folks, is what it takes. You learn about what it takes to get to the pro level each and every day, the focus and the resiliency that players need to have to play at the NHL level. So I think that will serve me well in working with the players. At the NHL level, they always talk about conduct yourself each and every day like a professional. And our players want to get to that next level, so they need to learn a little bit earlier right now while they're here at Northeastern to conduct themselves each and every day as a professional, whether it be in the classroom, whether it be in the community, whether it be that in the hockey rink. And if they have that purpose and that focus, then that'll help them towards their aspiration of getting on to the next level of the National Hockey League. The NHL is a real difficult league to play at. Very few get there, and it's those who have the intangibles. Obviously you have to have skill, but those who have the intangibles and the resiliency and the moral and the character to get there will help them get to reach their goal and their level.
I'm sure a question a lot of fans, alumni, and whatnot have been asking you about is the bean pot. You mentioned the 4 in the 1980s, most recently 1988. It's been a while. How are you handling that? Is that a focus of yours, trying to get number 5 here?
I don't think when you're with any Boston school that playing the beanpot, that the beanpot doesn't come up. Might not come up as much over in Comm Ave because they've had a lot of success over there. I walk around campus since July 26th, and I think it's the most asked question after, "Hi Jim, how are you?" or "Congratulations, what about the beanpot?" So it's certainly not lost on me, and because of the success that I was able to have as a player on being part of some real good teams, I understand the significance and the magnitude of the beanpot. And I've always said each class of 4 years, so each student should have a chance within a 4-year period to win the beanpot, because it carries with you the rest of your life, and it's an experience that you'll have the rest of your life. And I still get introduced at this point in my life as someone who played on the beanpot and won the beanpot multiple times. So there'll be a focus on the beanpot when we get to that point in the season, Rob. Right now, what we're trying to focus on just being a better team each and every day, focus on getting better. It's the Bill Belichick approach. And then when we get to late January, the beanpot, we'll know the beanpot's coming because the hoopla and the media attention will bring that to us. And I think what might have hurt some of the current past teams is that there's been so much of a focus on the beanpot that they think that they're wearing or they're carrying the last 20-something years of unsuccessful attempts at the beanpot, that they've got to win the beanpot. So there may be a little more burden placed on their shoulders. And we're going to try and take that burden off. Still, there's going to be a focus on winning the beanpot. It's a big tournament. It's a tournament here in Boston that brings everyone together, from students to faculty to alumni, and we want to win it. Certainly, without a doubt, we want to get back on the winning ways.
Will there be a Jim Madigan signature style for Northeastern hockey?
Well, if I carried that through, Rob, we wouldn't be scoring any goals for the rest of the year, given my skill level. I think Northeastern has a signature type of team. If you look at some of the teams in the National Hockey League, the Philadelphia Flyers have a certain brand and style. The Pittsburgh Penguins have a certain brand and style. Boston, this year had over the last couple of years a certain brand and style. The Northeastern brand and style for me has been consistent for many years. Even when this rink behind us was only 200 by 85 feet and it's small, shallow corners, we are a hard-working, driven, determined team, hard to play against, physical, good mixture of skill and physical play. And I think the previous staff, played that way, and there was a signature style when other teams, the opposition teams came in here, that they knew they were going to be in for a tough night. Our staff wants to play that same way: puck pursuit, physical, attacking the play in all three zones, and it's a style that we feel comfortable with as a staff. I think it's a style that the players feel comfortable because they want to be on the attack. Certainly we're going to play with intelligence and play with some discipline, but it'll be an attacking style of play.
How about going out and recruiting these student athletes to fill these roles?
Recruiting is the heart of what we do, Rob. You need the good players and the good students and people of high character to come into the program, and they go hand in hand because you want to make sure that student athlete experience is a positive one, both in the classroom and on the ice. And if one of those components aren't working out, then it's going to affect the other one. So we're out there right now identifying, obviously, good hockey players, but players, young men who have leadership qualities and have character that can come in and be part of Northeastern University, embrace Northeastern University, and want to be here at this university. It's a great institution. We're hot as an institution. We've got great fan support. We've got great alumni support, and we've got an administration that wants hockey to be successful. So from my end, it's a real easy sell for Northeastern. I've got a lot of passion for it. Our two assistants have passion, and now it's just identifying the right student athletes who we think would be great fits for Northeastern hockey.
We talked a little bit about all the different hats that you've worn at Northeastern and throughout your career in coaching and hockey and whatnot. You've also been an associate dean, you've been a fundraiser. Those types of things apply too to this new job?
Yeah, I think as a head coach, you're wearing different hats, and you're wearing, the first and foremost is you're the coach, and you're setting the vision for the program and what you want the program to look like, creating that team identity, and that has been done the last few years. So we're going to continue, with that vision and identity for the team of who we want to play to. And it goes back to your earlier question about the style of play, and that's an identity style question for us. Certainly, the other components of promoting the program and being out there and discussing Northeastern with the high interest level and the passion I think we bring as a staff is important. Raising funds is always important, Rob. It gives us more resources to do the things that we want to do here at Northeastern. This is a professional organization. It's been run that way for the last few years. We want to maintain that high standard of quality so that the student athlete experience is a quality one. Our student athletes are having a great experience. Certainly resources plays a big part of that. I'm not going to back away from that. So we'll be doing that to provide that student athlete experience. But the focus is obviously on the ice with the players and putting them in a situation where they can be successful each and every day so they can reach their goal and their aspirations.
Now you just happen to be playing in maybe the toughest league in the country, Hockey East.
Yeah, and it's been the toughest league, from my end. Once the league got started, I was fortunate to be part of the inaugural season of Hockey East back in 1984-85, and when we had that cross rivalry with the WCHA schools. And I think if you looked at the last 10 years, the amount of teams represented in the Final Four or winning the NCAA championships, you would look at Hockey East and the WCHA as 1-2, and based on those teams' participation. You want to play the best. We're in a great city. We're fortunate to be playing, our counterparts who live very close to us. We're fortunate to have a league that promotes itself very well, that top players want to come to. So we're playing against the best schools, the best competition, but the best players want to come to Hockey East, so that's a drawing factor for us. I look at Northeastern, as I talked about earlier. We're a hot school, great academic institution, with a fan base, student support, and a fan base that's really high, great academics, along with the hockey and the hockeys. I think it's a no-brainer for young men to want to come to Northeastern.
You're behind the bench, across the way, Jerry York, Jack Parker, some of the iconic coaches in college hockey. What's that like?
Yeah, no, it's going to be it'll certainly be a challenge because they're obviously great hockey folks and have had success to the highest level in winning league championships, NCAA championships, obviously being Potts. I've been there before playing, coaching at Northeastern, playing at Northeastern, looking across and seeing Jack and looking across and seeing Jerry. Some of our greatest moments, for me as a coach and player, were as an assistant coach and player, were against BU and BC, and even with Jerry at Bowling Green, right behind us, and when he was coaching the Bowling Green team when we advanced to the Final Four. Hey, we've got a good staff. Coach Keefe and Coach Foley will, along with myself, will prepare our players so that when they go out to compete against BU, that they're ready. Because at the end of the day, it's Northeastern hockey and the players versus BU and their players, not between Jack Parker and Jim Madigan. I have all the amount of respect in the world for those two gentlemen. I'm good friends with them. They've been great for this city. They've been great for college hockey. But at the end of the day, we want to beat them.
Jim Madigan, Northeastern men's hockey coach. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, Rob. Looking forward to a great season.